What's up, my YouTube? Oh, I turned y'all to my patio. Sorry, YouTube people. Y'all on my patio. Now y'all back to me. What's up to my YouTube people? And now soon my TikTok people. Let me give my TikTok people some time to hop in. Hey TikTok world. Hey YouTube world. If you do not know who I am Ray Bay Glam. And I have been playing and totaling with this idea of reading books. But typically this is my time to read the books, but I also want to still go live. So I want to start reading with y'all. We're going to switch it up. So this time we're going to read like a suspenseful book. Then we're going to read like a self-help book. So that's what I want to do. We can talk, pause the book. I'm going to read it out loud for you guys. I'll show y'all what I'm reading. And if you want to, purchase or just like read along, I use my Amazon, like the Kindle. Even this is a tablet, but I use Amazon Kindle app for books, just in case you start listening to the book and things get a little interesting and you want to like kind of follow along, or you miss like a live where I read, you want to catch up. So that's what I'm doing. Hello, Tommy. Welcome in. So that's what I want to do, y'all. I have been struggling with just like not really wanting to be on a camera a lot lately. It's just who I am personally. Like, I love my alone time, but at the same time, I do love the community that I brought in. So I want to share with you guys like different multifaceted ideas of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I do beauty content and stuff, and I haven't done a makeup tutorial in so long, and I will do one this weekend. I got lots of going on, but I'm also way more than beauty, and I want to show that and display that in my content. If you've been following me, you already know that I'm way more. I talk way more about just beauty and things like that. So if you are here, I'm going to start reading. I have my YouTube baddies here, my TikTok babes right here. If you are new, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are new to TikTok, please follow me. My name is Ray Bay. On YouTube is Ray Bay Glam. On TikTok is just Ray Bay, Raebae. Again, we're going to start reading the book that I chose. Like I said, I want to do a suspenseful book first, and then I want to do like a self-help book first. So the book that I chose is A Happy Marriage. It looks like this. A Happy Marriage. And it's A.R. Torre. It's a New York Times best-selling book. And I'm going to tell y'all what the book is about. It says, a detective and her psychiatrist husband harbor deadly secrets that threaten their marriage when a missing woman case connects to his hospital patient. So I just feel like, so when I saw that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to read it. I love suspense. I love a little, like a little cliffhanger, running off. Like, I just love stuff like that. And then so we're going to finish this book. I don't know how long it's going to take us to finish this book, but we're going to start this book. Let me tell you how many pages it says it has. It has 251 pages. And so, yeah. If y'all want to cuddle up with me, I like to unwind with a good little book I want to share with y'all. To me, I feel like it's still, this is a way that I figured out that I can be balanced on YouTube, still do my content, but also do stuff for myself. It's a challenge for me, so I constantly challenge my students to be better and just to do things for themselves. So I'm doing that. Like, I have never, my whole life, was a book reader. I would read because I have to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to switch it up. I'm trying to enjoy different things and expand my vocabulary, things like that. And I can't tell my students to do that if I'm not doing it. I try my best to lead by example. So this is the book we're going to read. A Happy Marriage, y'all. So it is on Amazon Kindle. And I'm going to start reading it. Y'all can follow along. We can stop and talk about what we're reading and all that good stuff. So this is chapter 1, Job. Okay. Oh, we can highlight and everything. I love this. Let's see. I watch my wife eat her cereal and think about the first girl I killed. What? In school, I read like one book in full. The first book I killed. Wow. Cereal, watching your wife makes you want to think about okay. She ate cereal in a very different manner, setting down her spoon in between bites and waiting as she chewed, her jaw moving in a lazy and circular fashion as she ground the sugary flakes into her mouth, then swallowing and pausing a beat as if to see if it would go down. Then she picked up the spoon and start the process all over again. Okay. My wife shoves a new bite in while the first is mid-chew. She hunches over the bowl, her gaze pinched in my face as she listens to me talk. The Cheerios are an afterthought, her spoon passing between the bowl and her full lips without pause. Chew, slurp, brush, a tender drill of hair out of her face, plunge a spoon in her bowl, licks her lips open and gulps for another spoonful. This book already it's gonna sound crazy. Yes, we're reading. Hey, Macnino. Oh, hello. We're reading, you guys. We're reading. So I'm gonna get y'all catch up. We're reading A Happy Marriage. Okay. So yes, I feel like I want to just start reading more, but also want to stay with my content people. And so that is what we're going to do. So it's a masterful combination, made more beautiful because she is obviously that it is happening. All her attention is glued on me, and I also know that just as I'm noticing every detail, so is she. She focuses on the press of my lips together when I pause, the raise of my brows when I ask a question, the moment I reach up and straighten the knot of my tie. The first dead girl, she didn't listen to me. This is crazy. She didn't notice anything. She was too focused on herself, on her clothing, her goals, her music, her money, her grades. Her mind was running a race just to keep up with herself. When I killed her, she was probably thinking of the funeral and reaction more than the pain. That is crazy. That is crazy. Hey, you did catch my live stream. We're just reading books now. We're reading. Hello over there in TikTok world. What would they bury her in? Who would cry? What would the obituary say? They never found her body, so the burial outfit never mattered. There was also no obituary, but to her credit, there were a lot of shed tears. If I ever kill my wife, I'll make sure this is crazy. Crazy work. Somebody tried to call me on over here, so I don't know. Can y'all still hear me on the YouTube world? I'm reading a book called The Marriage. Oh, chapter 2. Already there. It takes almost 2 days for anyone to notice that Reese Bishop is dead. It's the flies that cause the discovery. On Saturday morning, they buzz around against the window of the kitchen, dozen small notification systems of fragile wings and oily legs, their mouths masticating bites of Reese's flesh as they batter against the planes. The taps of their bodies against the glass catch the attention of the mailman, who pauses in his attempt to wedge the furniture catalog into the mail container beside the front door. Brad Thomas hitches the heavy messenger bag on his shoulder and hesitates at the sight of the insect's movements. Reese Bishop did not complete a request to hold her mail. and it was odd for her mailbox to be full. Two odds, as his wife would like to say, didn't make a right. His gaze dropped to the thick catalog, which now sticks halfway out the box, leaving it in place. He sidesteps over. Okay, good, you can hear me good. Let's see. He sidesteps over the window, cups a hand over his right eye, and leans forward to look through the dirty glass. The 52-year-old woman was sitting at the small round table in the kitchen, her head down on the red tablecloth. Her hair was pulled back in a fluffy scrunchie, and she had a small flower tattoo just behind her ear. Her face was turned towards him, her eyes dark, her mouth hanging open. Flies crawled around her pale white skin into and out of her mouth. Below her eyebrows are two dark balls of movement, and the postman inhales sharply at the realization that the flies are feasting on her eyes. Baby, this book, they said, come, hit them hard, okay? Now we're on chapter 3. Baby, the chapters is going. This is crazy. Like, this man like a serial killer. What y'all think? Do y'all think he's gonna kill his wife? He already killed one girl. Do y'all think he's gonna kill his wife too? Okay, let's read chapter 3. I rinse out my cereal bowl and place it in the rack beside the sink. Joe's plate is there, the fork from his eggs sticking out of the silverware cup. It gives me such a sense of domestic bliss to follow his act each morning, both of us doing our part to keep our house in order, to respect each other's time and space. Other couples leave their dishes out, expecting the spouse to be their maid, but Joe and I have never done that to each other. Yes, unless something gets in the way. Oh, he's going to take them all out. Oh, okay, keep going. I'm pouring coffee into a thermos when my phone buzzes. I check the display and answer it, attempting to hold it in the crook of my neck as I stack and tear open 3 Splenda packets. Merino. The phone slips, and I grab it just before it hits the counter. Dina, this is Lieutenant Paul Franks. I was told you're covering homicide for Rita Perez. Okay, somebody finding out something. Yep, what's going on? I smile at Joe as he walks by. He pauses and presses a kiss on the back of my head. We have a possible victim in Montebello. The address is 23 Luther Drive. There's a couple of uniforms there now. Medical and scene techs are on the way. I empty the packets into the thermos and motion to the fridge. My husband is already opening the door, withdrawing the half-gallon of milk and passing it to me. 23 Luther Drive. Got it. I'll head there now. Joe gazes meets mine, and I do not have to explain what the call is about. In our marriage, death is a common disruption of our peace. He already said he wants to do it, didn't he? Hey! He said if. He already killed somebody already. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. He already killed somebody. So we'll keep going. I'm reading y'all The Marriage. A Marriage. A Marriage is a New York best-selling seller. And I got it on my Amazon Kindle. Okay, now it's chapter 4. Dina. It's back on Dina again. It takes 24 minutes to get to Montebello from our home in the Hollywood Hills. On the way, I'm honked at half a dozen times, flipped off, cut off, and approached by panhandlers. In other words, a typical Tuesday morning commute in Los Angeles. So they live in Los Angeles. Normally, I'd be heading into Beverly Hills, where the crime is heavily dissected between the uber rich and the poor, the tax base of the former helping us handle the disturbances of the latter. Montebello is a different story. With thin resources and understaffed department, I'm not looking forward to meeting and working with a new crew, but that is what you do when one homicide detective out of 20 in a city like Los Angeles is on leave. You cover, you help out. If I'm ever out of commission or on extended leave, someone will take my beat. Research my murders and take my arrests. Sound like a typical job, huh? Mm. I despise the thought and spend nights laying awake in bed and thinking of someone like Robertson miscategorizing evidence and overlooking clues. Is it wrong to want all the murders to myself? I put down Luther and appear to be the last one on the scene. The scene text, the coroner, and some black and whites have sucked up all the available spots in the residential street that is solidly lower middle class. I snag a spot a block down between a Nissan coupe and a minivan. My old partner would have gripped at how far I parked from the curb, but Oli isn't here anymore. So I leave it alone and step out, sending a quick apology to him. So I guess that maybe the partner passed away. That's what I'm thinking. I don't miss the guy. The job is much easier solo. That being said, there are moments when I turn to say something to Oli at a crime scene or in the middle of an interview and he isn't there. He isn't there smacking a big wad of bubble gum, his pen drumming against the inside of his thighs, the buttons on his front of his dress shirt straining against his wide chest, his goofy smile stretched across his sunburned face. I was annoyed by him until he was gone. And now I wonder if, besides Joe and my first crush, he's the only man I ever loved. Oh, okay. Oli would have described today's weather as being hot enough to scald a lizard. He loved that phrase and always golfed after it. And if he'd say the wittiest things, I fanned myself with my neck badge as I crossed the street. The skirt suit, which had seemed perfect inside our air-conditioned house, is a mistake. My pantyhose are already slipping down my left thigh, and I can feel my underarms collecting sweat. I quicken my steps and promise myself that I'll lose the jacket as soon as I step inside. A fly buzzes in front of me, and I swipe it away and smile at a uniform who passes by, his face bored, the gesture not returned. Fucking Montebello. This person hates, I guess she hate going over there because they probably rude. I step over the curb and up on the sidewalk and watch as another unmarked car pulls up to the front of the house and attempts to take the space at the end of the driveway. I squint, trying to see who's behind the wheel. The car's tire scrapes the edge of the curb, and the faint thump of music comes from its interior. The sedan settles into the place, and the engine shuts down as the door opens. A man who looks like he could play basketball unfolds from the car. Oh, he's tall. All dark and messy hair, an olive complexion, and a suit as stifling hot as mine. As he tucks a cornflower blue tie against his dress shirt and strides up the drive towards me, I immediately note all the things wrong in this picture. Age, he's too young. Attractiveness, too much. Attitude, too confident. I know every detective in this town, but he's not familiar to me. I frown as he approaches, trying to understand who he is and why he's here. He said, what she said, she had a thing for, his name is Oli, but yes, apparently she had a thing for him. But you know how it be sometimes. Apparently she didn't really know, even though she's married. You know how that goes. I don't know how that goes. I ain't got to think for nobody I don't like. If I don't like you, I don't like you. And that's it. You must be Dina Marino. He smiles big as his long strides eat up the space between us. I'm Freddie Hodges. He sticks out his hand and I take it. Freddie Hodges. The name doesn't ring a bell. What department? I ask, pushing my sunglasses up on my head so I can see him better. I'm currently patrol, but in the training program for detective. I'm shadowing Ron Memphis this month. Ooh, Ron Memphis. Hey, I just hear the word Memphis and I'm just like, okay. I smile, though the thought of Ron makes me want to vomit. Ugh. I still have the imprint of his stare on my ass from the last all-district meeting. Well, I'm covering for Rita Perez, I say crisply as a bead of sweat runs down my back of my neck. Ron's not on Montebello. He's actually in the hospital, he grimaces. Really bad case of gout. So they have me shadowing other detectives. Sent me over here when this call came in. Screw that. The last thing I need is a trainee stuck to my side, questioning every move I make. Look, I get that. Sorry that you're stuck with me on this one. He shrugs and smiles. And that lethal combination has probably unlocked every door in his handsome little life, but it didn't do anything for me. Instead, the idea of a trainee, especially an attractive one, digging through my seam sends bile rising through my throat. So she ain't impressed by old boy. She is me. I glance towards the home's front door, anxious to get inside. Okay, I say, trying to think of a reason, any reason to get him back in the car and out of my hair. Nothing comes to me, so I head up a skinny sidewalk that cuts through a faded green artificial turf lawn towards the front porch. He follows closely, his dress shoes crunching, and now I won't be able to take off my jacket, not without wondering if the white blouse I'm wearing is clinging to my breast. For the second time since leaving the car, I curse my outfit. Joe hates when I wear this shirt. He thinks it's inappropriate for work, and maybe he's right. My husband rarely has an opinion on my attire. I should have listened to him this morning. There's a kit by the front door mat, and I dipped down and grabbed a set of booties and latex gloves. After pulling the stretchy plastic over my flats, I work on the gloves and watch as he does the same. I'll dictate if you take notes. You got a notepad? I ask. He reaches into his jacket interior pocket and pulls out a small spiral bound and a pen. I grab the front doorknob and consider him for a moment. I'm not used to having someone shadow me, so please forgive me if I'm a little, I pause trying to find the right word, grouchy at times. That's your book. Shaquille, please. You wrote the book, A Happy Marriage? Please, sir, please. He smiles wide as if I said something funny. I'll grow on you, he reassures me, grabbing the door's edge and pulling it all the way open. Yeah, they'll be Joe's concern. Okay. Now we do chapter 5. Y'all, okay, listening now, who y'all think she gonna end up sleeping with this boy? Y'all think she gonna end up sleeping with him? Even though she married? Seems like she got a thing for people who annoys her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't me. But some women are like that. Some men are like that. You know, so, but it seems like to me, she may have a little thing for people who get on her fucking nerves, okay? Now we on chapter 5. Back to Dina. Chapter 5. We going through these. Yes, sounds like a yes. To me, it sounds like she gonna be, I don't know. Cause see, like there's the husband who don't say much. Her, And the book is called A Happy Marriage. This something about that go down. That's all I know. Let's read chapter 5. Freddie smells like a vanilla and coconut bath scrub I used in my 20s. The scent keeps floating over to me whenever he moves, and it clashes with the purity and slightly fruity smell of a dead body. What? I use both hands to pull the elastic bands of a face mask behind my ears, covering my nose and mouth. There, let this distracting scent penetrate through that. So I guess she don't like the smell between him. Young man is gonna cut. You think so? I don't know. I check the lock on the wide kitchen window and do the same for the back door. Neither look disturbed, and I verbalize the observation, then crouch beside a scuffed up, round dining table and stare at Reese Bishop's slack expression, a small pool of dried vomit beneath her chin. What made you a suspect foul play? I glanced at the medical examiner, who chugs a bottle of water by the back door. I know this woman, and all of the me's. I'm glad it's Monica. We've worked at least a dozen scenes together, and she's a good mix of attentive and adaptive. Okay, so she seems like she got some good friends and colleagues. There's an empty Barbitrol bottle in the trash. I'll verify it with the autopsy and blood work, but the most likely cause of death is overdose. Okay. I'll leave it up to you if it's self-inflicted or foul play. That's why you get the big bucks. I chuckle, well aware that Monica probably out-earns me by a factor of 4. Okay, I'll be quick so you can take the body. No problem. She crimples the water bottle, and I glance at Freddie, who has his little notepad out, pen at the ready, a page of notes already down. I focus on the scene in front of me. No reason I wouldn't be able to knock out this report in a couple of hours and make it back to my part of the town for lunch. I clear my throat again. Female seated at the round table just off the kitchen. Looks like she was eating breakfast and passed out. She looks to be late 40s, dark shoulder-length hair with gray roots, no wedding ring, pale complexion. I tilt my head, spotting something under the stretched out collar of the t-shirt she's wearing. The edge of something fabric, a band-aid, or I use the tip of my pen to pull the neckline to one side, revealing the cursive of the collarbone, and there, a port. I look up at Freddie, who is standing beside me, his crotch at eye level. I'll pull her medical history, find out if this is for cancer or something else. Okay, so maybe, look, I'm a step ahead of you, Monica says. Advanced heart disease. Was denied a transplant because she's a smoker. Oh my God, this sucks. Y'all know what the ports are, like right up in here? Okay. It was terminal, according to her doctor. I ordered her full history, which I put in the file as soon as I get it. Okay, so likely suicide. I straighten to stand. Freddie frowns. Of course he does not like the suicide angle. Newbies love dramatic, complicated murders, but he's not going to be disappointed. I'm 3 minutes into the scene and already know the evidence won't point to murder. No forced entry, no sign of a struggle, easy peasy. I do a slow visual sweep of the cramped room, faded blue wallpaper with the pattern of chickens. The milk in the cereal bowl is soft and soggy. The sour smell adding to the scent of the cocktail of Freddie's cologne and the decomposing body. A cup of black coffee. A newspaper, Open to a word search game. Half completed. I'm not sure if that's a clue towards suicide or murder. If I plan to die, I would want to spend my last hour. Would I want to spend my last hour staring at a puzzle? Yeah, hey. Some sound crazy. It's a question for Joe. Not that I'll discuss this with him. Separation of church and state and all that. I handle my business, he handled his. So I guess they don't like going home talking about work, which I understand that. So, no note. Freddie pipes in. Doesn't look like it. I turn slowly, double checking every surface. Freddie writes down something, and I envision how tonight's dinner conversation with Joe will go. So her brain, she checked out, okay? She checked out. Did he flirt with you? No. Not even a little? No. He won't believe me. Will want to meet Freddie to do that male dance of handshake thing and eye contact and dick measuring. Then there will be a whole new round of questions for me at a time when it should be over. Joe has a lot of strengths, but trust isn't one of them. His suspicion is a two-way highway between us, paved in love and fortified with rebars of verification, which is why I probably won't tell him at all about Freddie. Also, she already keeping homeboy a secret. Ooh, cause her man don't trust her. Ooh, hey, keep going. I turn from the body. Let's tour the house. The crime scene texts move away, like opposing magnets wherever we go. It's funny, even though this is a different crew from the one we used in Beverly Hills, there is that familiar hostility present, which I never understand. It feels like a competition of who can find out what without the other team knowing. It shouldn't be like that, especially not in an industry where lives are at stake. I mentioned it once to one of the other shields, and they looked at me as if I was crazy. Like they had no idea what I was talking about. So maybe it's just something about me and the CSIs I don't like. Either way, when Freddie and I go into the primary bedroom, they leave it and provide no information as to what they photographed or whether anything in the room contributes to the crime scene. That's already messy. Freddie being a secret won't be good at all. It won't. But on the flip side, I do know why. Okay, let me pause. Time out. I do know why. Okay, so one thing I learned in my last relationship, he loved the fact that I was honest, but some things, when a man is already struggling with some stuff, some things is better just to not bring up. And the reason why it's best to not bring it up, because if you don't plan on doing anything with anybody, if you are not attracted to them, then why are you telling me? Now, this is only for some people, because like once I talked to my ex-boyfriend about like why I say stuff, he was like, oh, okay, I just don't ever want you to be in a situation where somebody tried to get at me and then you try to befriend them and you out here looking stupid. So that's what I always kept that motto is of how I wanted to be treated. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you dapping up with the bros but he sliding in my DMs. Now, if I use your logic and say, well, I know I ain't ever going to talk to him, so I'm not going to tell you about it, then this man is smiling in your face, but literally trying to get with your girl. I wouldn't want to be treated like that. I would at least want to give you the heads up that, hey, by the way, he is interested in me. And you may not do anything with it, but I at least want to give you the opportunity to know that this person is trying to get at me. You know? That's just how I feel. So that's how I would operate. But then again, like my mom has always told me, I tell way too much. I'm too forthcoming. And it does bother some men. Like, hi, Gotti. I'm just reading a book, but I had to stop and talk about like how men just don't like people who are too overly expressive and tell the truth. And so my ex-boyfriend was very much like this. Hi, got it, thank you. My ex-boyfriend like that. He was just like, you ain't gotta tell me if you don't plan on doing anything. Like, I was raised, I don't know, I just don't ever want to put nobody in a situation or predicament. You up here befriending somebody, you smiling up in their face, and they try to get at your girl. I just thought that was weird. I don't do that. Like, here's at the end of the day, I want to give you the discretion or the choice to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because men are shysty, women are shysty, and at the end of the day, we supposed to be a team, and I'm not holding nothing back from you. That's just how I feel. But some men don't like that. Some men feel like when a man is trying to talk to that girl, they're supposed to automatically defend that girl. And I don't need defending. This is just to be letting you be aware. You know what I'm saying? You being aware of your surroundings. Like, I don't ever want to be left in the dark, and I want you to be left in the dark. That's all it all is. That's why I don't drink and smoke. I don't want to drink and smoke. Because I don't like being not in control of the situation. Like, if I'm drinking and smoking and being high, like, I can't control my situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm under the influence, literally. So, anyway, back to the book. So, I mean, I guess her husband is like that, but I would hope that my man is appreciative of me telling the God honest truth all the time, whether he wants to hear it or not. Because one thing you ain't gonna ever wonder is if what's going on. Like, I'll literally tell you everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to be in the dark? Hi, Jess. Okay, let me keep reading. The room is drenched in floral print, a variety of designs covering the walls, the curtains, the bedspread, and the pillows. It smells vaguely of a cat, but I don't see anyone anywhere, and there's no damage to the body. That's the telltale sign of cats. They start eating almost anything immediately, which tells me all I need to know about having one as a pet. Dogs will starve to death besides their owners, not cats. They start munching on the ears first. Oh my God. That's why I got no cat. My baby's gonna be loyal. Yes, she is. She's gonna say right about her mama. There's something that always throws me off about being in a dead woman's room. The weight of it. Not of the death, but of everything involved in the aftermath. Someone will need to go through each of these drawers. Her trash can, that dirty pair of underwear, or the dusty vibrator in the bedside drawer. Her knickknacks in the dresser. The earrings pushed into the corkboard on the wall. That's why it takes me an extra half an hour before I ever leave the house for weekends at the ranch. What if we died while away? I couldn't have my colleagues walking through my house, opening drawers and digging into our trash. I've worked too hard to make our home a sanctuary of peace and order, each item carefully curated with a goal of cohesion. In comparison, Reese's selections are much more utilitarian. Price over beauty, function over form. She has a giant blue body pillow that is stained and ripped in the corner. An annual calendar with pigs in various costumes hangs from a nail on the yellow wall. October 25th has a heart around it, and I stare at it for a moment. Hey y'all, I'm just reading. October is a bad month in general. The month I almost lost everything. The month my youngest sister got married. The month serial killers Gary Evans, and Mac Ray Edwards were born, amongst others. No wonder the holiday of horror falls inside it. We spent almost an hour in the 10-foot by 10-foot space. I searched her mattress and through her jewelry box. I look in all the places where secrets are kept but don't find any. No computer, Freddie remarks. Have you seen a phone anywhere? No. Suicide victims don't hide their phones. An astute observation for a newbie. Agreed. I'll let out a breath and think through it. The lack of a phone is sometimes something a DA would pounce on if this case ever crossed their desk. But the missing phone is also like a body. Without one, it's hard to prove murder, even if the absence points to it. I stand. Let's look at the rest of the house. The second bedroom raises a bigger question. It's a young woman's room, one that smells of fruity body sprays. Everything is neat and stylish. The color scheme, all creams and pinks. The bed made with a fuzzy set of pillows that spelled out J-E-B. I wonder what that is. The closet is in a perfect order with even rows of dark jeans, teeny tops, and at least a dozen pair of shoes. I thumbed through the stack of matching folded t-shirts that have an ice cream logo on them. Got a bunch of employee shirts from a place called Chunky Mike's. Freddie pauses before the dresser mirror and points to a photo taped in the corner. I bet this is her daughter. Looks to be, 18, 20 maybe? I lean forward and study the photo. In it, Reese Bishop has her arms wrapped around the neck of a young woman who is laughing. The girl looks happy, as does Reese, and I feel a stab of jealousy at the maternal bond. Clearly they are close. They love each other. Maybe this is what it looks like for an only child who doesn't have siblings to split their love with. Freddie clicks his mouth. There's a bunch of more pictures here. Pretty girl. He is at her desk and slots one of the photos leaning against a lamp into the center of the white painted surface. Pretty. I studied the girl, who is standing on the lawn at some sort of outdoor concert or event. Her arms were spread out, a peak of her stomach showing, her grin wide, hair down, sunglasses perched on the top of her head. There's a lot of books here. He turns his head, studying the names of the spines of the paperbacks that are crammed into the bookshelf at her desk. Novels, but some textbooks too. U.S. politics and procedures, chemical equations. Looks like she's in college. We've got a stat sheet on the victim. I pull out my phone to check the case file. By now, we should have the background check, next to kin, public records, and there's a new attachment. I tapped the file. Never mind, I got it. The pretties you see in your FYP. Thank you, Vaughn. I appreciate that. I'm just reading a book called A Happy Marriage. I scroll through it. Reese has a daughter named Jessica, sophomore at UCLA. This is the address listed, so this has gotta be her room. Lives at home but hasn't reported her mom's body yet. Freddie frowns. Maybe she's out of town. Or stays with a boyfriend. I glance at the collage of photos stacked on the wall above the desk. See anyone who fits the bill? It takes a moment to look over all of them. There are too many faces and too many photos. I'm not sure if I can find even a handful of people I liked enough to take a photo with, and she has her arm wrapped around a few dozen. I frown. Not even a best friend, I muse. Look at her in these photos. Notice anything? He leans forward and studies them, trying to see what I do, but I already know that he won't. A man could never understand the dynamics that goes into trying to survive as a young woman. You're actually gorgeous. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 1.1 likes over there too. I see y'all. I see y'all engaged in YouTube. Very solid, very solid. I don't know, he finally says. She's got nice teeth. In all of those shots, she's the outsider. I study one of the photos. The girl's perched on the end of a row, clinging to the group but not touching the blonde in front of her. like she doesn't want the girl to realize she's there. I remember that age, how awkward I felt. 20 pounds too heavy, my social circle interrupted by my time away, each interaction a minefield of saying or doing the wrong things. I hated that time. I was one of those, it was one of those reasons why I joined the police force. I wanted to build, I wanted the built-in family that no one all wore the same thing and cared about the same objectives. Nothing to screw up there except that I forgot I was a girl, and all that alone made me a target in our training group. Meeting Joe, talking to him, it had been a scuba tank of air at a time when I feel like I was drowning. He had pulled me to the surface, pulled me out of his raft, and wrapped his arms around me. And from that day forth, I'd be in the sun, warm, confident, safe, breathing. There were a few photos of her with different guys, their arms slung around her neck or pulling her into a little close. No love there, only lust, control, use of a body before discarding it. Another feeling that was odd yet familiar. I pull a Polaroid off the wall and hold it to him. What's your take on this? Boyfriend? Fling? This is a new live content. Yes, I'm reading a book. Reading a book. He glances at it. Fling. Or maybe a friend with benefits. I look over at the rest of the photos, but they are more of the same. A girl ignored in the midst of a crowd. I can relate to that when I was her age. But unless she has had her own dark secret that's built up her wall, our reasons may be different. Maybe she's emotionally stilted. Maybe she's a bitch. I retached the photo to the wall, and I hate the way the guy is looking at her. It's a sly look, the kind of fox would give its own prey, and she's beaming. She's probably slept with him and then he ditched her, his knife still stuck in her clueless heart. I turn away from the wall. Let's call her work, see what's up. It takes less than an hour to confirm that she did not show up for her shift this morning. I issued an APB and Jessica Bishop officially becomes a missing person in the Los Angeles County. Oh my God! So her mother is murdered and she's missing too? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm on here for an hour, so it's been 48 minutes, so we got a little bit more to keep going. I want to make sure I pick up where I left off. This is crazy. So right now, if you just tuned in, we're reading a book called A Happy Marriage. This is crazy. So your mother is murdered, and then now the girl ain't showed up for work, and they put an APB out on her. Phone is gone too. A happy marriage, but the husband was a murderer. But look, keep going. We got about 10 more minutes. Then we're gonna come every day. We're gonna finish this book together, y'all. So yeah, you should be subscribed and following me. You're gonna see when I pop up here and start reading, because you can see it changes. The trajectory of the book it's just getting crazier and crazier. Okay. Now we're on chapter 6. Back on Dina still. Back on Dina. This is crazy. Whew. You think the daughter is a killer or a victim? Freddie sucks on the edge of his juice pouch as if he hasn't drunk anything in days. I look away before it seems like I'm staring. Neither, I say dryly. There's not anything in here pointing to murder. I shift my position on the hard concrete step of Reese's Bishop porch, moving farther into the shade. She was terminally ill. Overdose is a better way to cross over than hospice. It's not Freddie's fault that he doesn't see the writing on the wall. He's too young to understand making a decision like this. I tapped through the fields of the report, putting in details and dragging photos from the file to the appropriate locations. It's moments like this that I almost missed the paper forms. Almost. The daughter's culprit is, hold on. Yeah, the daughter's culprit is just something we need to consider. He tilts his head back and empties the rest of his pouch of the drink in his mouth. There is no we. This is my case, and tomorrow he will be back to whatever bullshit is on his training manifest. I swallow the thought and scroll past the area of the report where his information will be added. I promise to consider it as I possibly can and see what the toxicology report says. I click save. It's not a suicide, not with the daughter missing. He crumbles the juice container in both hands and looks around for a trash can. Maybe she killed the mom and took off running. Or the killer offed the mom and snatched her. Or, he perks up, maybe she found her mom dead and had a mental breakdown. I fit the stylus into the holder at the top of the iPad and lock the screen. We don't even know for sure that Jessica is missing. City puts out 3 dozen APBs a day. Half the time the subject is just sitting at the bar around the corner, drunk. Trust me, Jessica could show up tomorrow off a flight from Cancun with a sunburn and a hangover. He looks disappointed by the idea, and I remember what it was like to be a rookie detective. The craving of drama, the spotting of conspiracies. It isn't until you're seasoned that you realize conspiracies and complications only mean one thing: more paperwork and more loopholes for the ruthless defense attorney to jump through. I stand and brush off the seats of my pants. Well, the report is in. Thanks for your help today. Send over whatever you need me to fill out for your TO. He pauses and has the indecency to look hurt. Oh, what about the autopsy? They'll take what, a few hours? I can meet back up with you when you get the call. Won't be necessary. I slide the pad into my bag. I'll call you if there's anything strange. He looks at his watch. Okay, but I got 3 hours left on my shift. I'd call back to the station. I step off the porch. Dispatch will give you something to do. She's trying to get rid of his ass. He scowls, and I've forgotten the daily agony of babysitting and training. Thank God it wasn't my shift now. Ron and his wandering eye could handle him. I'll give Freddie a parting wave and smile, gratefully to having him out of my hair. All right, I feel like we should stop at chapter 7. Hold on. I'm gonna bookmark that and highlight. Okay, I feel like we should stop at chapter 7 because we got about 5 minutes left. So far, how y'all liking the book? What happened there doesn't sound like there was any struggle in the house. I don't think the daughter got kidnapped. Ooh, this is good. I'm glad I picked this. We want to do a suspense book. What got you interested in that book? I love suspense books, and I started reading. I just went on Amazon Kindle, and I saw the title, and then I read a little bit of what it's about. I said, yep, I want that one. So we're gonna do It's Just Weird She Hasn't Showed Up for Work Too. Yes. Do I write books? So I think that this was gonna be where we stop at, y'all. This is a good one. I think it's a good one. So you don't want to miss the live tomorrow. I may be going to the movies tomorrow, but I want to, if I go to the movies tomorrow, I will, and if it's late, I'll put on here, y'all will resume chapter 7 another day. I don't want y'all, for those who are invested, which I'm totally invested, I don't want y'all to miss it. I don't want y'all to miss, because I feel like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, what are you going to see? I don't know. The movie I want to see what comes out September the 5th, and it is The Conjuring, another Conjuring movie. Y'all know I love being completely scared. And possession movies scare me because they actually can happen in real life. Things that can happen in real life, like spiritual warfare and all this stuff, really scares me. I don't know what I'm going to go see if we go tomorrow. I haven't been to the movies in a long time, so I definitely want to at least try to enjoy to do that. School has been great. My kids have been great. We're working on resumes and stuff now. So yeah, I talk all day, y'all, so I'm kind of tired. Somebody wants to join. No. Marlon Wayans movie. I think Marlon Wayans is fine as hell, but I don't enjoy any of his movies. I didn't like White Chicks. I didn't like none of that. So I don't think I will be supporting him like that. But the boy fine, okay? The Wayans family is the real family to put on everybody. But me, I don't enjoy, like the Ice Cube franchise, I don't really enjoy anything Ice Cube. It doesn't do anything for me. But it's like I love how they're, getting their money. I did not like it. Nope. I don't typically like any biopics. I don't like any biopics. Actually, you didn't like Friday. Nope. Didn't like Friday. I didn't laugh not one time. I watched it in the 90s when it came out, and so I was like, well, maybe I was a child. Maybe I watched it as an adult. I don't know. Just not my thing. Just not my thing. Glad they're getting money, though. Did you like Rush Hour? Nope. Didn't like Rush Hour. Nope. No, them type of movies just is not doing it for me. They alright, they cool. I'm not rushing home to watch Rush Hour. I'm like, yo, bro, y'all wanna watch Rush Hour? Like, I like movies like Law Abiding Citizen, or The Green Mile, or like I love the movie Nope. Nope was good. Stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't. Those don't do it. Those are hood classics, just like Boys in the Hood. Don't like that either. I never seen Law Abiding Citizen. That's a movie you need to watch. No, I just doesn't appeal to me. Love the money and the income that the people are able to make off that, but it's just not for me. Not for me at all. Don't hate it. Hate. Have you seen Hitman's Bodyguard? Nope. I've seen The Bodyguard, and I love that movie. And it's probably called Love Whitney Houston. Let's see. But yeah, I really love Nope. There's this movie called Pandora's Box. It came out in like 2002 or something. I love that movie. It's really good, really suspenseful. I like suspense, like things like that. I like, what's the Beyonce movie with Idris Elba? It was okay, but I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly surprised at her acting in that movie. I like the plot. I like the movie. There's another movie that I like. Let's see. But then I'm also not a big movie person, so you guys are talking to the wrong person. When it comes to liking movies, I'm more of a music person. I'm a album person, and I'm more of an experience person. Like, I like to be outside, hiking and fishing and dancing and art exhibits and all that type of stuff. Movies is not like my thing. Like, if I'm all these movies I'm telling y'all I watched are movies I watched when I was in a relationship. I don't just be at home like on a nice Saturday afternoon to say, hey, I'm just watching a movie. I'm about to go outside, go hiking. I'm gonna go to the park. You know what I'm saying? I want to go pick up. I saw a cooking show reel that I want to pick up the ingredients to go cook. Like, yeah, that's my thing. I just don't. Sitting at home watching a movie is just too stationary for me. I like to keep it moving, keep it pushing. But yeah. So I'm gonna leave off here because it's been my 60 minutes. We left on chapter 7. So again, if y'all want to stay tuned with the book, stay up on the book, you should be subscribed. You should be following me. And I will see y'all anything later. Bye.